senior and junior, they used to open their shows with this small trick. I mean, nowadays we open tricks with massive things, these cars and trains and all that to open a big show. This is what they would open a massive theater with. He'd walk out, stand on stage, hold this in his hands, and literally in 1 second flat, the whole cage would actually vanish from his hands. And to this day, in the world of magic, it's probably one of the greatest magic tricks. The Blackstones are really influential in magic because they were the last of the tuxedo tails, bow tie magicians. They were a huge magic family. Not only one magician, but two. So, Rick, on this item, what are your concerns with it?
So how does it work?
Rick, it's magic. He would hold it in his hands, it would dissipate. And the great thing is, if you do end up getting this, you will actually want to see. That's the bonus. But the greatest thing with this is, even when it was filmed on TV, they would break it down frame to frame. You could not catch the vanish. It happened in one frame. That's how great this vanishing trick was.
Okay. You want to show me how it works?
Rick, it's so fragile. This is over 100 years old.
What's it worth?
This cage, like I said, is one of the classic magic props. And you're getting it from...
What's up?
The price for this one, in this economy, in this day and age, is
right
$3,500 and $4,500. Sure, thanks so much. Good luck with this, and good luck with your magic career. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the screen. If Rick makes a deal on this and actually does own this item, I think Rick will be able to move it pretty quickly. It's a cool piece of magic.
So I'll give you $2,500.
How about $2,750?
It's a specialized thing. It takes a long time to sell it. We take $2,600.
Yes, $2,600.
Okay, deal. This is really cool. I just can't make sure some of my employees don't screw up something fragile. This is such a cool historical item. I'm glad we got it for the shop. You never know. Maybe I'll join Murray's Magic Show. Our hair does exactly that, so. You again.
Me again.
What's up, man?
Not much. I have John Wayne's hat from the man who shot Liberty Valance.
This is John Wayne's hat.
John Wayne's hat.
From Liberty Valance.
One of the most iconic movies, in my opinion.
I mean, it had some stars in it, too. I mean, this was full big-time stars. It was James Stewart, John Wayne, Lee Van Cleef,
yep.
Lee Marvin. Those four together would kick the ass of anybody in Hollywood right now.
I bought it from a big collector. He didn't want to sell the hat, but I brought out a briefcase full of money. I said, "What's your crazy number on this?" I had to have the hat. Hollywood just does not make movies like that anymore. Well, maybe Quentin Tarantino.
All right, it's pretty damn interesting.
I didn't understand that.
It was a cool movie. I mean, you're talking 1962. Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne, at this point, they're icons. They're in the top five. They're the Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio of their day. Yeah. The greatest thing about this movie is the lines that came out.
Exactly. When you think of John Wayne, what phrase do you think of him saying?
It'd be Pilgrim, which is from Liberty Valance.
Exactly. He was wearing this hat in the scene where he first used that word.
That is really, really cool. John Wayne has so much nice swagger that his movie lines are legendary. And think about it. It's been up to 70 years since some of his best films came out, and people still love him.
Oh, shit.
So where exactly did you get it?
This came from a guy named Nick Polidorus, who worked at Paramount Studios, and he was a friend of John Wayne's, and after the production of the film,
Oh, shit.
he gave him the hat. So I have a notarized letter here and a statement from him.
So did you buy this guy?
No, I bought it off another collector who bought it off this guy.
Okay.
I have some pictures here of him wearing it, and you can see the band and the cord and the creases. But the most important thing is there's a scene where he shoots the paint cans, and Jimmy Stewart gets paint all over him, and he punches John Wayne. And I think this is some of the paint splatter here.
Okay.
One other thing, it has a little tag in here saying John Wayne #2, and I believe he wore 3 different hats in the movie.
All right. So how much do you want for it?
$95,000.
$95,000.
I mean, it all looks fairly legit, man. You,
I mean, it looks good. The thing that's got me concerned, the movie was in black and white. It's hard to tell what the color.
Color.
Before I put that kind of money out, I want to be 100%. I want to be 200% sure. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I have someone look at this? I mean, there's no one who knows more about John Wayne than this guy.
Sure.
I'm going to give him a call. I'll get him down here. He'll look at it. He'll know right away.
Okay. This hat is the one John Wayne wore in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I have photographic evidence, and to me, photos just don't lie. That's John Wayne's son.
That's John Wayne's son, yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy Ethan should be able to tell us if this is his dad's hat.
wow.
That's cool. Is this your dad's hat?
Well, it looks like my dad's hat. Liberty Valance is a great movie. My dad was at the top of his game in that movie. And he looked good physically. He owned John Wayne.
Bam.
Everything that he had going.
Always.
What can't
That horn always gets me.
I'm sorry, my dad's just a pawnbroker. I'll tell you something about my dad. He always had fun. If my dad was with his friends and they were joking around, you know, he may throw out a line from a film like, "Whoa there, Pilgrim," you know. It looks really good. It's got this ring around. It's got a really good matching hat band, and the color's good, and the shape is good.
One of the things that I liked was that this was a hat that would have had a dent in it, and they made these creases, and in all the photos you see, the creases, the original crease, matches up. It still stays there. You can't get rid of that original hat maker's crease. In every photo, it's there. And of course, there's the scene where he shoots the paint can. I believe that's probably a paint stain.
Oh, no Otani autographs.
Stack or two on the back, but I certainly don't remember something that big.
But there could have been other takes as well, possibly.
Yeah, and there's multiple hats. That it doesn't look the right size to me. Looks a little small. If he was wearing this hat, he would have had to really get it on there. And you see it's way down to his brow in that photograph. What if I put it on? It should, go down to my ears.
Hey, Dolly, do right? How's it going?
That's a problem. I think he wore a 7 3/8, about a 7 1/4. Typically don't shrink, but that's awfully small. So that and the size of the brim is a bit questionable to me, and also that it looks so perfect.
So there's a maybe.
It's a maybe, but I can't definitively say yes or no to either one of you. I'm skeptical that just never heard of hats shrinking.
They shrink. Some of the ones in my archive certainly have.
Thanks, Ethan.
Did my best.
Just because the hat
Nothing.
is a little bit smaller than what John Wayne's actual size was, does not mean it didn't shrink. That should not kill the authenticity of the hat.
There's got to be a way to 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, prove it was his or it wasn't. Sure, but at 95 grand, we just can't.
Okay.
I can't give you any type of big money. Figure out a way to prove one.
No restocks on anything.
You know I will.
All right, man.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it, bud. All right. I'm going to have some photo analysis done on the hat.
Yeah, try to get some Prism football blasters, some elites.
Prove them wrong.
So the customer sent in what he claims is the original 1986 cover art for the Beastie Boys' License to Ill album. Now he wants $50,000 for it. I just talked to my rock and roll guy, Warwick. He's saying it's probably worth $5,000, and he wants my art guy, Chad, to check it out. So if Chad has the same value as Warwick, I'm really gonna have to fight for my right to negotiate if I think I even got a chance of getting this.
Beastie Boys, 1986. I remember that. I had to fight for my right to party when I was 16 too.
Well, have a seat. Have a seat. Take a look at it. This is really, really cool. This was in the 100th greatest album cover.
So there's been a lot written about it already. Rick Rubin came up with this concept when he was taking the Beastie Boys, who were a punk band, and he added a little bit of rap to them. He had just read a Led Zeppelin book, and he wanted the Beastie Boys to have a jet of their own, but he wanted to do a little kind of a sarcastic bit to it. So he got the artist, who is a graphic artist named World B1 or David Gamble, and brought in the concept.
Not a lot of restocks out there, man.
So the owner of this says it's an original charcoal sketch.
The one thing that I would say about this isn't the final product. Obviously, it's not even in color. When he first did this, we know that he used a collage of a lot of different planes, and then he put it together and then went over it with water crayon. It's not the camera ready piece. It's progressive sketch leading there. So that's why you have the Mylar, and they have, they have some of the little notes. This was supposed to directly rip off the Harley Davidson. That was the intention of it at the time.
Okay.
One of the fun things about this too is it was made to
Jeez,
where
Dean's out there singing his lungs out.
it looked like a little blunt.
Right, sort of like the back of Bad Magazine where you fold it and become a. Okay, all right.
How many drafts would it take to complete a final cover? It's hard to say. Could have been a lot because he was experimenting with different aspects of it till he got to the finished product.
So what's it worth?
The most important version, the one that's really the money shot in it, is going to be the final camera ready product. We know in 2013, another very reputable appraiser put the camera.
Yeah, I can hear you all the way up here.
It's really great, but it's not the color piece. I say 5 to 7,000.
All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for showing. It's super cool.
I'll walk Chad out. Hey, you want something, Rick?
No, I just wanted to be 1986 again. Hey, Jim, how's it going?
You're good. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. So I had my buddy Warwick. He's the #1 guy on rock and roll memorabilia in the world. He's looked at it. Chad, my art guy, has looked at it. And here's what I was told, okay? This right here it's a work in progress. This is a study. We don't know how many there was. We don't know if there was 5 drawings that got to the original drawing in the color, or there was 20 or there 30, but it was one of those. The big problem is it's not the artwork that was photograph ready and made the album. You understand what I'm saying?
I totally get it.
Okay. And the artist basically is only really well known for this painting. And basically, they both told me it probably retail for like $5,000.
Okay.
Okay. And I think it's pretty amazing and probably sell quick. I have some customers I know would be interested in it, so I'll give you 4.
Tell you what, Rick, we're going to be way too far apart on that, unfortunately. I like it a little more than that, a lot more than that. The price that you offer me, I get it. I know you did your research, but for me, it's just not worth it to let it go for that.
Okay, I can understand, especially if you ask me 50, but I literally researched it to death. I had like the best guys I know of to look at it, and that was their opinion. All right, so I'm gonna box it up and send it back to you. I mean, what are you gonna do with it?
I think I'll hold on to it for a little while longer.
All right, man. Thanks for letting me take a look at it. You'll get it in a few days. Okay.
Thank you so much, Rick.
He didn't get it.
Theater. This is where he does his magic show. He called me down because one of the people he works with has something he wants to sell. So I'm down here to see whatever this item is.
We know we're in the right spot. It says Murray right there.
And Chum wants to learn magic. Make you feel like a star?
This seems like a groupie. We're going backstage.
Murray!
Hey, buddy.
Hey, there you are.
Good seeing you. Welcome backstage. Hey, Joe.
So,
This is Eric, my show man. Hey, how are you? Eric has a super cool item he thought you guys might like.
where's that? Got it right here. There we go.
What is this thing?
This is actually a magician automaton doing a cups and balls routine. Cups and balls is actually one of the oldest magic tricks in the world.
So what was the point of this thing?
Automaton is basically the first robot of our time.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day a robot can take over Chump Joe.
A robot can never do my job, right?
Uh.
Robots are efficient.
There's logic there somewhere.
It's funny.
Really cool automaton that's pretty old, I think, and it looks magical. And I figured I'd bring it down to Murray since he knows everything about magic, and I know he's friends with the guys at the pawn shop, and so he's been collecting dust, and I thought it might be worth some money.
I'm gonna let you guys discuss this. I'm gonna grab a couple things before we open the doors.
All right.
Thanks, Murray.
Don't be pulling no magic without me.
Why not?
It's really, really cool.
Where'd you get this thing?
My grandfather brought back from Europe after World War II, and it sat in I think, my grandmother's house for ever and ever.
So how does this thing work?
Clockwork.
Woo-wee.
There's rods and gears, and that's also a little music box. In Europe, it was really popular all the way back to the 16 and 1700s to have watches with automations on them where their little figures would do so in the face of the clock. This is the same thing.
The busiest day today.
I actually never turned it on because I was afraid to break it. Can you try it out? Yeah, pretty simple how they worked. Wanted to play a music box. Wow. Oh, that is cool.
This is what it
That's
says.
neatly cool.
Wait, you recognize that song?
Here comes the bride.
Yeah, you've heard that a few times, right?
That's funny.
Well, it works really
Clouding them.
but it looks pretty big. You know, it's kind of like breaking apart, real dusty.
I'm assuming it's right around 1900, and that's the original soap. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, in the manufacturing process of soap to make it really, really shiny, they used mercury. But over the years, this happens to the silk. It starts breaking down because of it. It's all material. So it's really, really cool. I've never seen this particular one before. So what do you want for it? I think around $2,000 be a pretty fair price. Okay. I have no idea how.
What's up, Gabe?
Let's get Murray back in here. Yeah.
Gabe was here. He knows how busy he was.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, me too.
Did you turn this on yet? Have you guys had a look?
Nothing.
It's absolutely amazing. Have you ever seen this?
We're still stuck on the 1823.
Automatons were luxury items. They're not kids' toys. These are in the States, really high-end, rich kind of homes. Way back in the 17th, 18th century, 19th century, they're real serious works of art. We have to take this apart and see inside here. If you look at the back, this is really interesting. This little dial says Rug. And Rug is Charles Rug. He was one of the pioneers that invented music boxes in St. Croix, Switzerland, around 1865. So that's super cool. When we turn this on now, guys, you'll see the actual combs start playing in the legs of the doll. You'll see the wires in here going up and down. So this is what triggers the hands, and that triggers the looks like this 3 or 4.
Hey, I have put one box aside for you. I have no idea what happened to it.
They do.
You can blame Wes for that one.
The cool thing about this
That
is
wasn't me.
it's all original.
Okay. Here's the this is worth.
This, because of its originality, it works really well, and it's in really great shape. I would value this at $5,500.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Well, there you go. Sorry, Rick. You guys want to talk about the price? You want to see the magic trick? I'll show you something like this, but in real time.
Yeah. You know, I got stage fright.
Well, this should be fun.
So, would you take $3,000 for it? I think that's way too low. Considering what Murray said, would you do 48? No. I mean, I own a business. There's a million more expenses. I'll give you $3,300. Would you go up to 4? I'll give you $3,500. Any,
That's 15 more than he was asking for.
you know what? It's been sitting in my grandmother's attic.
Hey,
Awesome. Now I'm gonna go find Chuck. All right. Good luck. Thanks. Hopefully Murray made him disappear permanently.
you can't blame me. Darks, what happened?
You got my Picasso.
All right. Was this a science project?
No, it's a real authentic Picasso.
Wow.
I came here today to try and find my Picasso. The lithograph with painting on top of it. There's only 2 of them in existence. I'd like to pawn today because I have some bills coming due. And I was hoping to get 20,000 for it.
Tell me the story about how you got it.
Well, this was originally by Picasso to my grandfather.
Okay.
And somehow it ended up in an outdoor boat shed in storage. And I discovered it. Dad said, "Oh yeah, keep it. I don't even like it."
What is this? An original painting or a lithograph?
Actually, a lithograph, but it has painting on top of it. You can see some of these lines. He painted on top of it.
Okay. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. He's got some kind of like maybe antelope here. So it would make sense because he did go through a whole period where he did like a lot of African, and it definitely looks African to me. Some people say Picasso's style was actually influenced by African art. If this is what the guy says it is, I've got to have it. Do you have anything to go with it? Any paperwork, anything like that?
No, I don't have any like letter of provenance or anything like that.
Okay. What do you want to do with it?
I just wanted to pawn it for right now.
Okay. You know, I've bought Picasso's for 50,000. I've bought Picasso's for $200 or $300. With the range of price on these things, you're gonna have to have somebody come in and take a look at it. Okay. Picasso stuff could be worth anywhere from $100 million to $100. So you gotta make sure what's in front of me is even worth it.
Picasso, huh?
Yeah.
That's what you called me about?
So you heard of the guy.
I have a little. And this is yours?
Yes, it is. There was only 2 of them made.
Wow, this is interesting. I mean, what can you say about Picasso? I mean, he was probably the most important artist of the 20th century. Picasso is one of the giants, and he could do it all, from intense realism to expressionist works to probably what he's most renowned for, which is Cubism.
Cubism.
What Cubism was kind of the breaking down of subjects into geometry, pyramids, triangles, circles, so you could look at different subjects from different perspectives. Most of the time when you have a painting, it's one forced perspective.
Right.
But with Cubism, you can look at all sides of an item or an object or a person simultaneously.
So can you take a look at it for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you looking for?
I'm also just looking at the piece a little bit closer to see what media it was done in. I think what this is,
Oh, that chrome black.
It's
I got one box coming.
linoleum, where they would actually carve
Gabe.
in the image on the linoleum surface, and then they would ink it and then press it into paper. And that would be indicative of the kind of work he would be doing around the late 1930s, early 1940s.
Some of this is paint. So there's
Okay,
you can see it up
I
here.
see some of the embellishment. Wow.
So, bro, what's your opinion of it? I mean, if there's a Picasso litho, it's worth one thing. Now, if he actually touched it with a brush himself, it's obviously worth a lot more.
You know, I get presented a lot of bogus pieces, and usually it sets off a fire alarm whenever I see a piece that's not legitimate. Based on everything I know about Picasso and what I see here, I feel that this is an authentic Picasso image.
Great. That's really good to hear.
Now let's get to the important part. What would you appraise it at?
Wow. I mean, these are, in fact, Picasso's own embellishments, so that really enhances the value. There's certain elements that detract. It hasn't been really well taken care of. It's been mounted to a board. There's creasing. There's some brown marks. That's kind of like a mold. So that's a problem. But that having been said, it's a really neat piece. With all those factors considered, I think we could be looking at in excess of $100,000.
Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. That's news I've had in years.
Jeez.
Appreciate it, Corey. Always a pleasure. Good to see you. All right, hey, great to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Like I sold Dave a celebrations box, and I had a slash in it. And then I broke it down to him like, hey, you know, bro, you paid more than what I'm offering you, but or you paid less than what I'm offering you, the box, and that and that would do. He's like, oh shit, you're right. That makes sense. I'll take the box.
My loan period's 90 days. Okay. You're a day late. Don't come and ask for it. You know, if you're late here and you never show up again, then I'll score a really good deal on Picasso.
Yes, you will.
All right, get a deal, man. Tell me right out.
Excellent.
Be careful with the Picasso, big Hans.
He said over $100,000. I was like speechless. Hope these guys enjoy having a Picasso on their wall for a while, but I will be back to pick it up.
I just got a call from my art expert friend. He said something amazing just walked into his shop. It's not the kind of thing he buys, but he promised me I would love it. So I'm going to Brett's gallery. Check it out.
Thanks for coming down. This is the gentleman I wanted you to meet, Ron Raffelli.
How's it going?
How do you do?
So what do we got here?
Ron came in with these vintage Jimi Hendrix photographs and not really dealing much with photography. But I know you're a Hendrix fan, so I had to have you come down here and see some of the pieces, which I think are fantastic.
I've just never seen pictures of Jimi Hendrix like this. Never. How in the world did you get photos like this?
Yeah.
I was to be photographer.
Seriously?
That's why I'm all gray. I was looking to start marketing my art, and this billboard had Jimi Hendrix. I'd never even seen. I kept them for myself for too long. It's time people see
Oh, phone call.
Jimi Hendrix.
1 second. Locas. Locas everywhere. Lock. What?
Happens.
You go ahead and turn that off. So
see what eBay is at. Good Lord. Damn, Yoshi's autograph is expensive. Holy crap. Look how expensive it is. I thought it was going to be cheap. Where's that spot at? Is that a Gardena, Gabe? That's squid? Another spatial source. Hey, yo. What is a sandwich? Oh. Oh, that's in Japan. Holy shit. Okono Miyaki. Okono Miyaki. Do they have one around here? Chikurin. Izakaya Hachi. Azuma Japanese restaurant. Let's see. They have it there. Japanese style pancake with pork and seafood. $50 to $100. Good Lord. Yeah. Sports cards, yeah, especially for tattoos. I am down for the tattoo parts. Money, 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 money. OPO 6 coming in tomorrow. Temporal Force is coming in tomorrow. Upper Deck Golf coming in tomorrow. The draft. 8 days till the draft. Caleb Williams gonna break the Bears. OPO6, golf, Upper Deck Golf, Temporal Forces. That's it for right now. Not a lot coming out this week. Not a lot coming in. Maybe I could try to go restock some stuff this week. Maybe. We lost another person in our group. We'll see Fluffy or not. Wait, what? May 6th on a Monday? What's up, ugly?
Smell fresh too. That's why I add down the unstoppables to my wash. I'll be smelling fresh all day long. Still fresh. Long-lasting freshness plus odor protection. Try Downy Unstoppables now for under $5.
Never got back to you, huh? Sucks, bro. Sorry you lost the friendship over me being a scammer. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I know you'll miss them. Yep. Said you haven't heard back from him. Sorry. Sorry, I scammed him and you lost a friend. Seagull. I'm gonna Star Trek. That's what I said. I'm sorry. Oh, in that case, if you don't care, okay.
Gang up, you're doing well. Flies. I've heard 2, 3, and elusive 4 fly. I haven't seen that one before. I imagine that's for the upper echelons of people. They take their golden gravy ladle and just they slather it all over their cards, and they just eat that stuff up, man. Maybe for me,
Hey, nobody's heard from him.
takes off. Maybe the channel actually goes. We'll see. Anyway, we got Spoink on the line today. Spoink is one of my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon. I like Spoink's on the line. Real shame about Grumpig. I'm not as big of a fan of that. I really love a regional variant of Spoink where they improve Grumpig a little bit, maybe give Grumpig even an evolution. I mean, they did it with Zigzagoon. Why not do it with Spoink? I mean, it's a Gen 3 Pokemon as well. Recommended by some of the comments. I really do appreciate that. I don't remember who it was, but I'm going through that entire list. Spoink, do something with that list. Anyway, I want to talk about something solid that maybe you guys will enjoy this as much as I do. I just love that. I love watching people formulate entire ideas, put it on paper, upload that stuff, and then like look at the actual finished product and be like, yeah, that's a good take. I'm gonna put that up. Surely people will actually agree with what I have to say about that. Mass growth is gonna be something good. I have respect for anybody who actually records and puts up any take they have on Pokemon or anything YouTube content really, right? But there's some of them you just see. You're just like, I think you should have rethought some of them. Sandy talked about this one really good. I'm not going to steal too much of the thunder. I will be borrowing a couple clips. His homie actually put those videos unlisted or something. I don't know. Oh, we do need to talk about this. We're talking about Joe G cards over here, kind of like Ali G, just not without any of the charisma or any of the good things about said person, right? Anyway, Joe G cards had a couple of really interesting claims. You may have seen that video.
I'd like to know too.
Most of the stuff they've been putting out lately, I mean, it's been about a specific person. It's been about Pokey Chloe. Now, I don't think I need to introduce her or actually spin up anybody on that stuff. They had a couple of criticisms regarding things she was doing about her store. The video titles were absolutely ludicrous. They looked like someone fucking just chat GPT'd first grade YouTube title and just was like, yeah, that's good enough for me. First draft, throw that sucker up. And they had several complaints about Pokey Chloe. One of them with her being a grifter and overcharging for things. And the second one was just straight up fucking, I don't even know what it was. It was just a attacking her for having a relationship or something, or like just because she's a woman and it was something really fucking stupid like that. We'll go into that stuff. Remember, give Roxanne a follow. Most of the stuff's gonna come from him. And watch his video. He did a very good job. Let's dive into some stupidity. Like I said, stupid takes, man. I can't get enough of them.
Got a grifter, right? A con man, right? Someone who falls confidence games. A person who swindles you out of their money, right? The reason why I call somebody a grifter, I wanted to make that clear because you've got people like this. You all know this. Pokemon Go and each and £40. £40, yeah? Right, so you go over to Unicorn Cards and they're selling this box for £32, which is £7 different. So why does Poke Chloe believe that she can charge you £7 more for the same box at a retail product? He leaves 3 in a box, right? And search for the Pokemon Go box. They're selling it £36, right? So they're finessing you as well. So she is technically the same price fucking this. She's charging more money than some people on eBay. You see what I mean? This is what shifty fucking kind of people you're spending your money.
So yeah, that's the topic that was being.
Somebody's having internet problems. What's up, Zach? How's your Wednesday going? Okay.
The Orton's savage moments and savage RKOs. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on more wrestling content.
I would RKO my own grandmother if it meant keeping this title. Looking to upgrade to a real man. That was 50,000. This is. Oh, that's for next time. I won whether it was that Jamaican.
Already? Hey.
I used you. You are. You are the devil's favorite demon right now. What, the devil's favorite dumbass?
That's it. You're moving out there?
If your last name wasn't McMahon, you would be a complete nobody. You'll be the same that you've always been. 400-pound world's strongest family. You beach walrus.
Hey, crazy.
How's that make you feel? Does that make me feel?
Oh, doorbell.
questions off the beach. So, MVP, you are the definition of the common criminal. Oh, you're gonna I'm going to be out a very long time, but I won't be able to come back. Oh, wait, I forgot something.
That was cold, and I was like, "Babe, let me go. I'll be back. I'm gonna go get a what do hail? Is Dee Dee maybe still here? Okay, let's see.
No, because he said, my mom gonna come back for me.
That you retrieve your balls.
So when do you move out there personally? I mean, permanently?
Mommy this, mommy that. Well, guess what, Rhea? Daddy's back. So after I'm done with you
Thank you. This is a bowl?
Oh, shit ton of rice. I didn't get you veggies. In the bag, there's like two little, it's supposed to be triple hot, whatever, want. Oh.
This?
Mm-hmm. And then the other one I got you is, I don't know, they're fucking special sauce. Whatever it's called. What are you trying to sell today? Football, basketball, UFC. Whose herb sucks again?
Nicolas.
Mm.
Same price. I'm nice enough to keep it at the same price.
Wow.
I know.
So kind. It's so dark in here when that's not on. You're watching old videos?
Yeah. 10 minutes of Randy Orton's Savage Moments and Savage RKOs. If she breaks one, retail price. If I break it, same price it's been.
Despise me so? Huh? Is it because I can get on all the rides at Disneyland and you can't? Nothing but a bunch of low-class weak people. Told me that Roman, you might have just crapped your pants. You could be right now. Is that right?
Good.
Stupid Miz TV. Here comes everyone for the famous.
Depends what the price.
I'm gonna remain
Take your day,
a lot longer than 8 days. The only thing bigger than your ego is that jackass right there. Emotions are too high.
Damn, halfway left.
know who you think you are. Shut up.
Wait a minute.
You three belong. This is the hood where you came from. When the officials stop our match, you won't be walking out, Daniel. You'll be carried out. ECW fans love your hardcore porn, right? Because it's probably the closest you'll ever come to actually having sex.
What's up, Chris? Mediterranean?
You were unable to.
I like it. I don't know about her. Not for tonight though, because they just went to go eat it and she brought me a chicken bowl. Trying to be healthy. I chose this over an In-N-Out burger.
Randy is Randy's cool.
It's like the equivalent to starring in a summer blockbuster than going to hardcore porn.
Put it on that one.
See, I'm the landlord, and rent's due, you son of a. That's why it's so tragic to see what you've become.
Yeah, I'll get it right now.
A legend. You're a lapdog. You're a glorified cheerleader. Flair, you've been living vicariously through your daughter's achievements.
Ah. She's about to eat, Zach.
cool shots. I'm also willing. Really good. I think we get on 3 shots. If you take the lever down. New one out. This gun represents what we want. It essentially changed the way our soldiers fought because reloading this facility. This gun is the real deal. Would be a great rifle. Gained during history with it. All I want to see is the advance. This is the one that came from Minera. Really you know, stamps on them. I don't know what they mean. So you get
Loose baseball, nothing new. Sorry, I was hoping to do something. Nothing new, loose baseball. All old stuff. No, no update of this. Yeah, I'll work on that soon. But 15 left in Origins basketball, $6 break. Oh damn, he never came back live. You done for the night?
I really can't believe that he didn't show more interest in buying it for the entertainment value alone. Just going back to my store window and let people look and take pictures with us.
Pretty good. I came in with a Remington revolver from the Civil War, and guns like this can be worth a lot.
It's pretty
pretty neat, but it's got some markings on them. I don't know if those were military markings or if they were just from the factory. Here, you'll see them right here.
Essentially what I have.
We have one there.
Aside from the marks, do you have any other concerns about it?
I don't know if that cylinder's been changed out or re-blued, but it doesn't match the rest of the gun.
Well, back in the day, the soldiers didn't care. They were out there risking their lives. They weren't worried about, I got to make sure that this part stays with this gun. It was about changing cylinders and making sure you had a functioning weapon that was going to save your life. If it was a reproduction cylinder, that would concern me. But this is definitely the period. But other than that, you know what? It looks to be a solid gun. The serial number, 14381. This is right at the tail end of the production run. So this would have been made in 1862. So there's a very, very strong chance that this may have seen service in the Civil War.
Okay.
But this particular model, there was roughly 14,500 made, and a couple of them were, real military contracts. Those contract marks would be on here if this was one of those military contracts. These are inspector marks. I'm not seeing anything that denotes a military purchase. Unfortunately, that does affect the value. Some of the things that concerns me just from the naked eye, I don't know if you can see this. You can actually see remnants of the original blue finish here on the trigger. See that iridescent blue? Yes. Okay. That's all gone now. This has definitely been harshly cleaned.
It's still cool. God.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think it's worth?
Halfway on Origins basketball. Woo!
I'd say between 1,000 and 1,500. Take care. A Civil War collection.
What is serial number now?
One of each of the predominant weapons that were used by the soldiers at the time.
102.
It is what it is. Sean really knows what he's talking about. And, I think we were right on it. I'm at $500 now.
For $500, I think I'll just get a nice frame for it.
If it go like $750.
My bottom was 1,500.
Maybe I'll do 8. It's just, you heard him. It's been cleaned. It's
$1,000.
$800.
12.
$800.
1,000.
We have a deal? Okay, sweet, man. Let's go right up.
It's actually not bad. Flame broiler for dinner.
I thought about it and went.
What's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
Tom, get your feet down. You stay in the old man's chair because I'm in a good mood. Oh yeah, what's that? I took you guys' advice.
You dropped a piece here?
Nope. Sponsor your race car.
For another way to advertise?
I'm just looking for something creative, maybe local race, but you got some serious potential because this driver is absolutely amazing. Who, Ricky Bobby? Ricky Bobby isn't real. But his name is Richie. So what is he about to join the big leagues? You know what? Tomorrow, come out, check out the car, and you can watch him drive. Sweet, man. Open it up. I like it. You will be impressed.
Oh. All the same boring stuff, right, Zach?
You better get a chip for the old man. 25 more minutes.
This is probably the coolest race cars you've ever seen.
Really?
We're out here in Boulder City. We're at the racetrack.
Where's the car? Got a really badass RC car.
What is that? It's the car I'm sponsoring.
Same boring old baseball stuff I have.
World famous Gold Silver Pawn Shop. Got our website there.
It looks like an ad for people that need plastic surgery. And weight loss. Typical my dad. You figure at some point your parents will stop embarrassing you, but how do you know we're gonna win today?
Because I got the best driver. Richie, somebody saw Corey, the chum. How you doing? That's me. This guy can drive.
Well, I hope so. Otherwise, it's a bunch of wasted money. No one's gonna come in the store if he loses. Let's get this going, man. Let's see this.
All right, here is the flag. These things do 75 miles an hour. It's really like watching real cars race. I mean, they're neck and neck, back and front. All right.
These cars are pretty cool. They're fun to drive. Seriously? Me, Rick, Corey, the announcer, and the 4 race car drivers. How's that gonna drop this? On the race.
Okay.
Shop name out. 70. What do you got here?
DC album.
Let There Be Rock.
Signed by a lot of the original band.
Yeah, AC/DC, one of the greatest bands of all time. It's got Angus and Malcolm Young, Cliff Williams, and you got Bon Scott on here? That's pretty crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen his signature before.
This is the Holy Grail.
Yeah, it's hard to get someone to sign something from the grave.
Bottom right.
Sell this album, I'd really like to get about 10,000.
All right, here we go. Good luck, Zach Ziegel. Bottom right.
No, there's at least 10 or 15.
2024 Upper Deck Marvel Platinum.
Yeah.
Ah.
This is pretty cool. The British Angus in 1973. They had a nice little following in Australia. But they just
We got Thor, Rainbow,
States until
Grandmaster Blue, Sabertooth, Fuel Wave, 763 of 799.
So, how much do you want for it?
Asking 10,000.
Cover variant, Hawkeye,
Honestly, I don't really know.
Typhoid Mary,
Have you ever had it checked out or looked up?
I looked it up and
Rogue, Color Match, Yellow Rainbow, and Howard the Duck. Cover variant, Rainbow.
you know, that's the money coming in.
Blue tracks coming up. Bullseye. Rainbow. Melkith. Yellow rainbow. Emma Frost. Blue tracks 462 to 499.
I'm gonna check out garage sales more often. Seen ATV things end up before. Never seen the Boston signature, so
Hulk.
that's not the rarest of the rare. Collecting signs.
Cover variant. Crossbones, rainbow. Spider Woman, red rainbow. Iconic covers. Uncanny X-Men issue number 141.
See it right there. So I'm seeing some good signs here. The next thing I want to do is look at period examples. We look here at Bon Scott example. Navy. That's kind of what we see here in the formation here. They add
Ooh,
ABC,
green.
ABC. Now we'll look at some of the other guys here.
Veteran Bill,
Especially
rainbow.
Signature.
Team, color match.
CW, basically.
Yellow rainbow.
ACDC. We go back over here.
Mephisto.
ACDC. So those are all good stuff.
All right, so what do you think?
74 of 99. Green Crackle.
Unquestionably real. This is a really fantastic piece of rock.
All right, well, he wants $10,000 for it. $10,000.
You're not going to get it again, but you know, all things considered,
Cover variants.
what the
Damn.
man is right around.
Charles Xavier. Angel. Black rainbow.
Resale on something like this would be
Platinum duos.
because 90% of the Bon Scott signatures I see, Bon Scott's autograph with ACDC, it's the holy grail.
Give you $3,000.
I couldn't do that. Like,
Cover variants. Armando.
He said it's probably worth $5,000.
Okay.
Are you willing to go?
No rainbow.
3,500.
Kid Omega.
55.
Color match.
Yeah, I'll tell you
And
what,
Electra.
I don't think we're gonna get a deal here.
Teal Wave 427 of 799.
My advice to you is get this framed up with a nice piece of glass so that these signatures don't get hit.
Cool, I'll do that.
Hang on your wall. Have a good day.
All right, thanks. You know,
Cover variants. Yep. Cover variants.
a couple years, it's going to be.
Grandmaster. Low key purple rainbow.
You know what?
Iconic covers.
Sponsoring the race car and all that. I actually found a with a spinner on the floor. You get outside right now with the kid. Come on. Come on, come check it out. It's not a lot of money.
Cover variants. Medusa. Jackal rainbow. Black Cat blue rainbow. Hello.
Thinking outside the box and coming up with creative advertising ideas.
244 of 399.
I think I hear it over there, Rick. I see it.
Super statistics. Thanos. Go on. Oh, I have an autograph. Edge of Spider-Verse, Gwen Stacy cover variant. Blastar rainbow. Angel red and got an auto. Boom. Jason Aaron Ryder. Man, of course sucks. 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. What powers did he have?
Play this. What are you guys talking about? He's pissed off at me because I took him off all my social media accounts. Why? Because he just posts stupid crap. He just clogging up my news feed.
Jason Aaron. That was the box.
Anyways, Chum's all mad because I kicked him off mine.
I think it's just ridiculous, the whole friending,
It
unfriending.
is ridiculous.
Scamming power. Yep.
You guys are missing the whole point.
Exactly. You don't have to stop there. You know, you can keep going.
I don't either. Family comes first, money comes second. Depending on who you ask. But the best part, you never know what's going to come through that door. This is Pawn Stars. Hey, you told me to go before, right? Yes, I did. What do we have here? Eli Whitney, Captain Ball, Civil War era. And Eli Whitney, huh? So this one right here, you have to pour in powder, put in ball, go pack in, and out again, then do the next one. Took me 5 minutes to what you're going. But you had 6 rounds. Most other people didn't have 6 pistols. I'm just saying 6 pistols, you go, there's going to be an X.
Came in the pawn shop today to sell my Eli Whitney Civil War pistol. I'm hoping to get $7,500 because pistol is.
Hey, got 4 more.
First thing that is made by Eli Whitney.
I'm assuming this was probably made 1858.
I was guessing 1850s.
Okay, and it's probably used in the Civil War, and it looks really similar to a Colt. I guess they would call this a Navy because the 36 calibers during the Civil War were called Navies, even though they weren't all sold to the Navy. It was just a weird thing.
I think this is a 38.
You think it's a 38? Well, they didn't make a 38. Okay.
I don't want to stop him if he doesn't want to stop him.
36 and a 44. I mean, that was just those were the standard calibers when they went to the war. He made a lot of guns in the Civil War. So this guy most likely was used by a soldier in battle for the war. And that is really cool. I mean, it looks in relatively good shape, but the cylinder looks like it's been rebooted. One of the things I'm looking at here is the grips don't look like they fit exactly right. So there's a possibility that these grips.
Yep, so you're too.
Quite frankly, I've never had one of these because you just don't see a lot of them.
So that means it's got to be worth more because there isn't as many, right?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know. Yeah. So, what do you want to do with it?
Do they sell it if we can get a good price?
Okay. And how much you want for this one?
I was thinking $7,500.
Sandwich maker. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. There might be something here. Let me call on my buddy Sean. He'll know everything about it, and he'll tell me. Okay.
But
Oh, that's one.
I had rice that wasn't cooked.
How much you got?
Baby, you got saucy all over your
Really
face.
cool. Star Trek original ads.
Was it overcooked?
No, I'm not cooked. Right?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, they were running the reruns constantly. My brother and I used to watch them.
They canceled Star Trek after 3 seasons?
Be willing to take is probably around 1,000.
I was not aware of that.
As far as TV shows go, this has got to be one of the most successful franchises. Especially considering there wasn't that many episodes. Star Trek has become one of the most recognizable sci-fi. You see even named the space shuttle prototype after the Enterprise. It doesn't get more iconic than that.
I knew that Gene Roddenberry had passed away a long time ago, and I knew that James Doohan and DeForest Kelley had passed away also, so I figured this is kind of a rare item.
Let's take a look at it. Sure. William Shatner, that's George Takei, Leonard Nimoy. You got any paperwork or anything with it? Anything to look at?
It does have a certificate of authenticity on the back. There.
Autograph store, charity fundraising, authenticate. All right, how's the jack? All right, let me take a look. Would be a great item. And it should be pretty easy to sell. That is, it's authentic. What are you looking to do, man? Any idea what it might be worth it? It's like somebody. It's one of the best. So, his favorite approval on this, you get it.
There you go.
You know, but someone's checking it out because, you know, why do they need to check it out?
Oh. Mobile phone.
Basketball, dude, you don't have to win them all, you know what I mean?
Man, the guy looked pretty pissed.
What's happening, guys? Pretty good, huh, Twan?
Right.
You want to go for a motorcycle ride later?
Who's bike?
That's right, you don't have one. I guess I'm still by myself. You're still annoyed with me. All this over social media. Anyways, if you get a bike, I'm trying to hang out with my girlfriend. So let me know.
I'm out of here. You guys act like girls.
What does that even mean? A guy came in with an autographed photo from the cast of the original Star Trek series. I don't know if the signatures are legit, so I'm having Steve come down and check it out. Original Star Trek, big picture signed by the entire cast plus the creator of the show. So, cool, Star Trek. You guys are huge fans, right? It's ridiculous. I mean, a lot of people grew up watching this, and it really left like an impression on a lot of people. A lot of these guys are still around, which is a good thing.
And the Angels are still terrible.
Few people passed away. The first to go was the fourth Kelley, and then their signatures are up there. But with that said, it's still very two of the cast members have passed away. So those cast pieces, they're harder to get your hands on. And the market for this stuff is crazy. I mean, a prop phaser gets sold for $40,000. So what do you think?
George Takei.
I've seen the 8x10s for $700-800. I've never seen a large format piece before. You know, and I think this thing could be worth in excess of $1,500. Really? Yeah, absolutely. You want to take a look at it for me? Yeah, what I'll do is I'll do some side-by-side comparison of the signatures. First one I would like to key on is Walter Koenig. This is one signature. It's kind of a little sloppy. His G kind of got out of control here, and you can see that on here. The next one I want to look at is Michelle Nichols. Michelle had a signature dominated by ends here. Usually sign it straight across. Sometimes she stacked it. This version is stacked in here.
Like 500?
No, the kind of striking on here is DeForest Kelley. DeForest Kelley always had this gorgeous, beautiful D. You could see here how I made this. I mean, it's D is just beautifully formed. Very difficult to reproduce. This autograph here does not resemble the same.
Doesn't mean they're gonna make the playoffs.
So, what do you think? Well, the one
This is their year. Yeah. Sure, buddy.
Most of the stuff they did for signing were done on smaller format. And one thing I'll tell you throughout the common flow of this, most of the stuff was pretty slow. And that's a bad sign. So you have all these things saying, no. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys. Yeah, yep. I was bummed out that this piece didn't turn out to be any good. I mean, I lost her.
Well, I'm bummed that it's not real. But you know, at least it was for charity. It is what it is.
All right, my man. Well, take care.
Right. Thanks. I was really shocked that it wasn't real. What's most disheartening is that I have to bring this picture back home to my wife, knowing that it's fake.
They're not making it to the playoffs, bruh. Tell you that. But we're 1 month in. We have 2 more months, and Mike Trout's out for the year.
Looks like they were just straight up trying to copy it.
Well, it's definitely a Whitney, and this is considered the Navy version. They made these from the mid 1850s up to the very early 1860s. So
His body can't handle it anymore.
So, what bothers you? The fact that they're ill-fitting, is somewhat common because wood does shrink over time. But this is squared off at the bottom. So somebody has either sanded the original ones or these are replacements altogether. Unfortunately, the grips do hurt the value. The condition of the original finish, it's acceptable.
The cylinder is just, it looks way too blue, like someone re-glued it. Okay.
So the
Oh, yeah?
is that the cylinder looks original to the gun. I always thought this was a 38 caliber, but he said they only made 36s at the time, and so this couldn't be a 38 caliber. That's correct. However, through this gun being fired and fired and fired, the internal diameter of the barrel can open up. I have a bore gauge, and I can just tell you that it's definitely more than a 36. I think that the rifling's been recut to extend the life of the gun. Now, the biggest question,
What's it worth?
what's it worth? Because of the grips and the overall condition, 1,100 to 1,400, somewhere in there, that's where it's going to fall retail.
I mean, it's just, I know these got to be a lot rarer than Pulse.
Well, they are,
Yeah.
but it's just because it's rare doesn't mean it's going to be worth that much more.
Okay.
It's about the popularity and desirability.
Yeah, they're already talking about MVP season, but
If Rick ends up buying it, he won't have a problem selling it because the Civil War
then summertime hasn't hit yet.
popular subject.
This is neat. I mean, it's got some history to it. And I'd give you like $700 for it.
Can you go 11?
No, I mean, I'm going to sell it for like $1,100. It's going to be a little bit harder to sell too because people, they go straight for Pulse. And or the Remington. But Eli Whitney, it's more of a sell. Tell you what, I'll give you $800.
Less than 800. 850?
I'll give you 8 or 4. Sweet. I'll meet you right over there. We'll do some paperwork.
Sweet. Of course, I wanted more, but it's a fair deal. And I knew it was a 38 the whole time. I don't care what he said.
What are you doing?
Just looking at my profile, seeing who my real friends are, what they're up to.
Dude, grow up. You're acting like a kid. You're acting like a kid, dude. What, you been crying because I deleted you from all my social media accounts?
No, I'm tired.
what is going on? I am done with this. Can you make each other friends again so we can end this soap opera?
It's about time we do.
As your boss, I'm making you do it.
Will you stop posting cats and stupid videos? I've never posted one cat. That was a kite.
So you're friends again, right?
Oh, of course.
Just refresh my page and know what I have. Do it by the end of the day. Thanks, Rick.
You're welcome, I guess.
I have some what I think are really unique glass, and I'd like you to take a look at.
Okay. These are really, really cool. These are binocular loops for like precision work. I used to use ones that weren't this powerful for like sorting out diamonds and stuff like that. And you could adjust them for each eye. Because you know how rarely are both your eyes the same focus, you know, thing. I mean, mine is just like terrible and really bad.
Pawn shop today to sell my Carl Zeiss medical glasses from the early 30s or early 40s. I'd like to get $500 for my glasses, but I'm hoping not to get less than $250 for them.
Wow. Red Lobster going to bankruptcy.
Was basically the guy who more or less invented the modern microscope. Okay. Basically anything with glass optics, Zeiss has a hand in it. And some of the stuff is just like uber money, like uber stupid money.
Well, I'm hoping these are uber stupid money.
Zeiss has been making incredible optics for over 150 years. I would absolutely love to buy these things from the shop. Is this a fashion statement or what? For myself. You always have to be concerned about these, and I see a little bit with these. You have multiple lenses here and they're glued together. Okay? And if they're not stored right, you know, it's getting hot, getting cold, getting hot. Things start to separate. If you look straight down here, you can see a little separation right around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
You can still work with them, but some of them are going to complain a little bit. What do you want to do?
I'd like to sell them if I can.
And how much do you want for them?
We've had other people kind of take a look at it. I know the retail value is around $500 to $600. I'd love to get $500 on them.
Okay. And if I was to resell them, I could probably get $500 for them if we didn't have that price for them. I give you $200. That's a fair price.
But they're cool. They're old.
They're cool. They're old. They're interesting. Okay.
$250.
No. The thing is, if they were in pristine shape, it would put $100 in that.
$225. Come on.
Okay, I'll give you $210.
All right.
All right. That's a deal.
All right. Sounds good.
Just try.
So we can do that. I didn't get the $250 I was hoping to get. I'm very excited that we're still able to make a deal. So all is well.
Are you ready for the big game tonight?
I'm stoked, man. Just give me a call and let me know the details, right?
For sure. I'm gonna give you a call. High five, friend.
Come on, buddy.
Here we go.
So, Corey, you're friends again? In real life and on the internet, or
Friends in real life and someone that thinks they're Corey Harrison.
get it?
I made a fake profile and asked them to be my friend.
What do you mean a fake profile?
It's a win-win. Trump thinks I'm his friend again, and I don't have to throw the crap on his newsfeed.
So when You helped me set up my profile and everything. Am I friends with you or the fake you? No, that's me. Really? I want to know. Welcome to the internet. I'd unfriend you if I knew how. This episode of Pawn Star. Changed in the row. It's really which to me makes green border reflector rings. Sweet. There's always been a huge problem with this.
This is the iconic Playboy logo chair. So see what I'm saying? I mean, money too, you know?
This is
15 teams left.
What's interesting I find about this letter, I mean, it's all handwritten. I mean, you don't see that this day and age. It's all secretary typed out, and maybe they signed.
well, they didn't have a choice back then. They didn't have typewriters.
This letter is a handwritten letter from James Monroe before he was president of the United States to an independent contractor. I wanted at an auction, early 2000s, late 1990s. I just thought it was really original, and I would just add to my collection. I think the letter could be worth as much as $5,000. I'd like to get $5,000.
Herewith enclosed, you will receive a contract for supplying the troops of the United States in Georgia and East Florida. Should you execute this contract and finish sufficient sureties, signed at the conclusion by Monroe. Monroe was Secretary of War at the time?
Yes.
Okay. I think it was the last founding father president. He served in the Continental Army and the militia during the Revolutionary War. Was in politics his whole life, but he's like I said, one of the last founding fathers, which to me makes him more collectible because he wasn't only a president, but he was one of the guys who started this country. Monroe was a pretty impressive guy in early U.S. history. He was Secretary of State and Secretary of War. I'm pretty impressed that he
We're halfway there for Little Origins basketball.
like that once. John can't even do one. So I'm assuming you want to sell it.
Yes.
How much would you like to sell it for?
I'm looking for around 5,000.
To tell you the truth, I don't know what's good number or not. The only documents that had to be signed by a president was a bill. So that's one of the things you run into problems with presidential signatures. Sometimes the secretaries would just write a letter, sign his name at the bottom of it, and tell you later, yeah, I took care of that thing. Do you mind if I have time to look at it?
Absolutely.
Just hang up for like 15 minutes. I'll get him down. Right?
Right. I'd like to hear an expert's opinion. I really know the signature is authentic. I truly believe it's authentic.
Hey, how's it going? What do we have?
This is the iconic Playboy logo chair. Now, this is from Playmate Promotions. So it's seen on tail. I mean, bunny tail, you know? I came down to the pawn shop because I, a former Playboy bunny, have a whole bunch of Playboy collectibles. And this time I bought an iconic Playboy rabbit head shaped chair. I'm asking $600 for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So this chair is kind of infamous, right?
You can see that these chairs are used for. I'm sure you're somewhere the history of Playboy and the Playboy.
It was on the cover, and she was the first African woman ever to be on the cover.
That's exactly right.
And it was more than a little bit controversial. She was also the first one to pose nude on the cover.
That's right.
So is this the same chair she's selling?
This is the same chair. This chair is used for the Playboy Playmate parties.
Okay, so tell the story of the chair. Where did it come from?
Well, I was at a party called Playboy 50 party, and it was just a one-night party, and they did it in 50 different cities with a number of the Playmates. These chairs were in the VIP room, as was I, with the other Playmates.
So you were at the party and you snuck out a chair.
I wouldn't say that. You really think I can like take this and stick it in my
I
shirt?
bet you had somebody with you that could. Playboy Bunny is so iconic, it's right up there with Nike and McDonald's when it comes to being recognized. But just because people might walk into the shop and recognize the image, it doesn't mean they're going to buy it. I got to make sure I'm going to make it. What are you looking to get out of it?
Okay, well, I'm asking 600 for it.
Take 4 for it.
Did you find?
That was actually the one that Stern had on the cover. Be a lot of money.
And I love.
You said there was 50 parties, 50 states,
Right.
50.
And again, how many of these actually wound in the hands of the public? I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I'll go for
475.
Nope.
Oh,
450.
well, in that case,
Deal?
you got a deal.
All right, jump right in.
Okay, thanks. $450. I know the Playboy tail is worth more than that, but then again, this is a chair, and I'm not really thrilled with the idea of carrying it back home again. I think it'll go right here with the decor.
That left and serial number.
I came in with a document from the War of 1812, supposedly signed by James Monroe. I do have some concerns. So I asked Stuart to come in and check it out. This is it. This is Monroe, James Monroe. You know, the guy they named Monroe after. He was president too, right?
Right. Cool. One thing wars produce is lots of paperwork. Material like this is generally pretty common for wartime periods. The War of 1812 is not a huge collecting interest. However, what's cool about the letter is the dark writing in it. I do like the parts about Georgia and East Florida because it's not really a normal thing we see in War of 1812. We see a lot of things with Baltimore and Washington, D.C. and that type of thing. There are people who collect Florida materials, and this is relatively early. This was 30 years before Florida officially became a state. So it's an early mention of Florida, which I think I could actually find a good collector for. The contents of the letter are relatively interesting. The Secretary of War is sending a letter to a military contractor asking him to send supplies to Georgia and East Florida. The Florida mention is relatively early and quite unusual. So, Rick, what are some of your concerns about the letter?
I would assume most of these things were written by a secretary and maybe he signed them, or just written by a secretary and his secretary signed them.
Right. I did bring along some examples of some James Monroe letters to compare it to. And with James Monroe, what I'm looking for is usually signed with a pretty heavy hands, really dark ink. He slanted it about 20 or 30 degrees to the right, and he made a really sharp end. Here, obviously, the handwriting down here and the handwriting up here is markedly different. So whoever signed this did not sign this.
So we're saying obviously a secretary or an underling filled out the letter and Monroe signed it.
Was authentically signed by the future president James Monroe.
Okay, so what do you think it's worth?
I would probably price it at about $1,000 to $1,200. I mean, if it didn't have East Florida in there, I think it would be significantly less.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Nice to meet you. Okay. I think there are people who buy some Florida material who might be interested in this letter, and thus they value it a little bit higher.
So how much do you want now?
Well, I did think it was signed by the whole letter by James Monroe, and I see I was wrong. Just a signature. 1,500.
No, he just told me it's worth right around 11 or 1,200.
1,200.
No, I mean I need to make a little money on this thing. I'm thinking like 750.
How about 950?
So
I'll tell you what,
close.
I'll give you $800. I think $800 is more than fair. All right, 8 or 4. Try to frame it up and everything. There's not a lot of money to be made.
Okay.
We're good. 8 or 4.
All right,
I will meet you right over there.
Okay. I was happy with 825. I think that was a fair price. It's still, you know, president of the United States. It's over 200 years old. They'll make money. I think we did fine.
Chop, it's not your break, so what are you doing?
Just kind of thinking, kind of brainstorming a little. Get my stuff moving up here.
Oh, what?
Well, I still reinvent myself. You know, like new job.
That might be a good thing. You want to be a little bit more like me? I can take you under my wing. I can teach you about business. I can teach you about how to be more responsible, how to save your money.
I was thinking more like my boy Hugh.
Hugh who?
That's a playboy.
Are you referring to Hugh Hefner?
Exactly. I
You,
mean,
you want to be like Hugh Hefner?
yeah, nothing like you, everything like you. Playboy, business mogul, billionaire.
Well, I don't know if he's a billionaire, but very hardworking businessman is what got him where he is today. I think it would be better to emulate a responsible businessman, and then maybe you could start making more money and saving more money and maybe elevate your lifestyle that way.
Yeah, but I don't know any responsible businessmen.
So close on basketball.
This is a set of Green One Race, 1966 TV show.
Sweet. That was the one with Bruce Lee, right? It's when they had like the really cool Black Beauty card.
Yeah, the show was known for the Black Beauty, and Bruce Lee today has kind of a cult following, reflecting growth.
Those shows where villain, the guy always won, everybody was happy. I'm sure at some point somebody was tied up and one guy came in and saved them. And
Yeah.
almost the same storyline for every single one.
Yeah. I came to pawn shop today to sell my 1966 Green Hornet flicker rings. They're in great condition. None of the peeling that you often see on some of the flicker plastic on top of the rings. The chrome is nice. We can get 600. Really don't want to go below, say, 300 or 400.
It's one of those series that have been around forever and ever and ever, man. You sort of what 30s as a radio show, and they do little short films in between double features with it. You know, they kind of played off the whole Batman thing back then, where they would have the pow and the boom come across the screen. And for it only being around one season, it really did a lot for Bruce Lee's career, especially here in the States. It really kind of made his way as an actor.
One season, the Green Hornet? Damn.
Other countries that actually had the cage. It really worked out well.
Take it away from Jackie Chan.
Absolutely. So these are like the superpower rings, right?
Issued 1966. She sold my cards in threes. They come in a set of 12. Flicker. She turns, changes images.
There's always been a huge following for this stuff. So you have 12 rings here. I'm not too familiar with. Is this a full collection?
Yes, the whole set.
How'd you get?
I like to collect 60s TV memorabilia, the Batman, Lost in Space, the Green Hornet.
They're just those reflective rings that were big back then. I mean, you put it a different way, give you a different image. This one down here is the Hornet gun, and this is him with his mask on. These rings were a huge merchandising success in the 1960s, and there's probably still collectors out there that would want to own these. I'm just not sure what they'll pay for. What are you looking to do with them? You want to pawn them, sell them?
I'd like to sell them.
Any idea what they might be worth?
I did some check online. And
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
get $50 a piece.
Shay, I got a friend who owns the toy shack down the street that deals with antiques, toys, and collectibles all day long. I'd like him to take a look at them because I'm just not familiar. Let me give him a call and I'll be right back.
All right. It's okay that he got a second opinion. Not everybody's an expert in everything, so I'd like to hear what he has to say. How far I might be okay, so that's fine.
What in the world is that?
I got a dictaphone.
You got two dictaphones.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And you can record stuff in them, so I thought it'd be cool thing. Every time I mention them to my friends, they all giggle and laugh about it.
Yeah, just mention the word dictaphone and you're guaranteed to get a giggle out.
My grandma used to be a secretary, and she had it at my father, and I cleaned out the shed, and he let me have it. It looks really old and like an antique, and I thought I want $100. The least I'm willing to pick is $80.
This was the competition to Edison's version of this. More or less the same thing, a little bit different. When Edison,
Hillary Portman signing.
yeah, recording sound. I mean, it just didn't exist. These were a really common thing. There's a thin diaphragm in there with a needle on it, and talk, it vibrates the diaphragm. Still things moving across the wax cylinder as the wax cylinder is revolving. It's the same as a record, it's just a cylinder. So you want to sell both of them? You want to?
Yeah, I'd like to sell both if I could.
How much were you looking to get out?
I was thinking maybe I could get $100.
I think they're a great piece of history and they're a great thing to talk about, but there's actually a lot of them out there. So, it was one of those things people threw in their garage and didn't want to throw the antique away. And there's not a really big collector's market for them. It's just a losing proposition no matter what. If you gave them to me, I would still lose money on them if I restore them.
I'll take 50 if you want to give me 50.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where it's not worth it to me. Thanks for coming by though, man.
Nice meeting you. I'm not too disappointed. I'll just bring it back home, put it in the shed, and the big cobwebs grow back all over it.
I came in with a bunch of promotional rings from the Green Hornet television sets. I'm not too familiar with what kind of value these things would have today, so I called up Johnny to come help us. Green Hornet reflector rings.
Sweet. These are from the 60s. Classic stuff. The Green Hornet storyline isn't that much different from Batman, of course. I mean, he was just a regular guy and he worked for a newspaper. And then Kato was loyal sidekick and they just fought crime. So they were out there just beating the bad guys up.
So what was the purpose behind these? Did they just help promote the show or movie? Or?
Just like all the shows back then, I mean, they merchandised everything from lunch pails to they had the little Black Beauty card that Forky made. And then they made a number of different rings. They had even the ones with the hornet on it and a few other little gimmicky things that they did. These would have been about 10 cents back then. They would have be sold in either a vending machine or like a store counter display or something like that. These Very View rings were made by a Chicago company. They weren't made with high quality, but they were really cool at the time, I'm sure, for young kids. But they had a lot of licensed merchandise. You name it, they put the Green Hornet brand on. These are very collectible. All the 60s stuff is really hot.
So what do you think they're worth?
Well, overall, the condition's fantastic on these. We got all different rings here, so this is the whole set as well. Now, realistically, you could easily break these up or sell them as a group.
Okay.
You know, it'd probably be a little quicker selling them by themselves. You know, it's not like one ring is like the holy grail compared to the rest of the set. They're all about pretty close to value. I would say probably as a group, you could probably be in the $25 to $30 range per ring. You could easily pull 300, 325.
Well, Johnny, appreciate you coming down, man.
Anytime, man. Take care. Well, before the internet, they would have been very hard to come across the whole set. But after the internet, some of these are more readily available. So the prices come down a little bit.
Well, that's kind of low, $30 a ring. Got the whole set. I think that would have a premium on it, like when you got a complete set. I mean, that really.
And I'm not necessarily in the business of rewarrant rings. So when I sell them cheap and I sell them fast. Now, if you're looking to get the absolute most money for these things, go out and try to sell them yourself. Want to get out of them quick? I give you about $200 for the whole set.
You do 350.
Go 250, man.
250. Oh.
I can't go any higher. It's going to take me some time to sell this.
280.
I can do 280. All right. You meet me over there on Deuce Bay. All right.
Thanks. I think the valuation was a bit low.
But I bought them about 6-7 years ago for about $50. So I think I did pretty well.
Dude, you're dripping in sweat. Are you trying to act like Hugh Hefner? I prefer the word emulate. What are you doing? I'm cooking. Sweetheart right there. Job. What job? Owning the warehouse. In the photo. Pass out back there. It's way too hot. Well, if you take the robe off, it wouldn't be as hot. I'm committed to this. Think Mr. Hefner would just stop doing what he put his mind to? No. Commitment gets you where you need to be in life. Hugh Hefner had his own business. He didn't work for somebody. Why do you use the phone? So, either lose the robe or you stay in the back. No one tells Hugh Hefner what to do. Hey, Chumlin, how about go give me a cup of coffee? Toast, I got you. Toast? Toast. Slang word for totally. So we don't speak English anymore? Toast is in the Urban Dictionary. You know, let's stick to the Webster Dictionary. YOLO, Rick, YOLO. What the hell are you talking about? YOLO. Rick, we should turn this one to you. Antoine, do you know what YOLO means? Of course, everybody does. You only live once. Told you. You know what? We speak English around here. YOLO is English. It's an abbreviation. No, it's in a rap song. Therefore, it's English. I don't even know how to respond to that. Family comes first. Yes. You never know what's going to happen. This is So what do we have this time?
Well, this time I brought you something wildly interesting, which is by Oscar Wilde.
You really need to work on the jokes, dude.
That's among the best of it. I bought this one privately from a family that inherited it. I love Oscar Wilde. There's just a lot of wit and charm in his works. I'm asking a really reasonable price today of $2,000. You know, it's so reasonable, I don't think I want to take much less.
Hey, this is interesting. The Happy Prince and Other Tales by Oscar Wilde.
Printed in 1888.
1888. Is this first edition?
This is a first edition, and it's a very interesting book. This was really the first book that sort of cemented his literary career.
And half the country loved him, loved his works, and thought he was just a complete genius, and the other half absolutely hated him.
Exactly. I'm sure you know Oscar Wilde was one of these great personalities of the 19th century.
Well, he was a very odd cat.
Exactly. Well, I consider him sort of like the Lady Gaga of the 1890s.
Oscar Wilde published the majority of his work during a 7-year stretch in the late 1890s. And even though he's still considered a creative genius, he seems to be remembered more today for having that over-the-top personality and just being a funny guy. So how many actual stories are there in?
Well, there's 5 stories in there.
Definitely cool, man. So, how much do you want?
I'm looking for $2,000 for it.
Which might very well be a good price. I'm not sure. I'm going to call Rebecca. I'm going to get her down here. She will help me out with this.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Hang on a little bit and I'll give her a call.
Great. Thanks so much.
The first edition, Oscar Wilde, will be an amazing item. But I don't want to get too excited until Rebecca gets here and tells me it's the real deal. He came in to sell a steam engine that he says still works. So I had him set it up in the back so I could see it in action. Hey, how's it going?
So what exactly is this?
So that's a 3 horsepower steam engine running on a 5 horsepower boiler.
This is a piston-driven steam engine as opposed to a turbine steam engine.
Ooh, you make that sound so interesting. I came down to the pawn shop trying some steam engine. Getting close to 100 years old. I'm hoping to make some money so I can get some more cool steam engine toys. I'd sell the engine for 6,500, but I'm hoping to get 8,000 for the whole thing.
I think it's deeply cool. I mean, in the 1700s, this just changed the world. Anything that takes circular power is good power. It's because of this, you know, in the late 1860s, you could go from the East Coast to the West Coast in 4 days instead of 6 months. It fires up, right?
Yeah, it's ready to go.
That's my gold locomotive. This steam engine is really cool. It's literally got the bells and whistles, especially the whistle. It looks pretty badass, but needs a lot of work though.
Well, it's running, but yeah, it could use some loving care.
Beyond a little tender loving care, we have water and oil leaking out of the main seal. These oilers do not look like they should be there like that. We have these holes right here where water's leaking in the crankcase. So you have a lot of crankcase issues and sealing problems here.
How much do you want for it? Well, I want 6,500 for the engine and 1,500 for the wagon and boiler.
Whoa. As far as old steam engines go, this gets about as blah as you can get. People will buy this, but it's not high on the list.
Well, how much you can pay for it?
This right here, whole thing $1,000.
Well, I didn't expect that.
What is your best price?
I figured 6,500 for both.
And to me, it's really cool, but it's not going to sell like other steam engines I've had in the past. You know, I'll go $1,500.
Well, let me just pull it one last time.
Thanks for bringing it by. Sorry we couldn't give you a list.
When he said $1,000, I thought he was just talking about the wagon, not the whole thing. For $1,500, I figure I'll just keep it. I paid more than that for it. So.
Reagan brought in a book of fairy tales written by Oscar Wilde that he claims is the first edition. Oscar Wilde is a big name in the book. I'm sure this could be worth some serious, but I'm definitely going to have Rebecca weigh in on this.
What have we got?
We have something really wild.
You gotta stop those bad jokes.
You both need to stop those bad jokes.
Oscar Wilde. Well, this is the book. He says it's the first edition.
May I pull it out of my...
Of course, you know how to handle these things.
This was the sort of breakout work for Wilde. He had printed a number of poems. He was famous for doing reviews, but this is when the literary establishment starts taking it a little bit more seriously. And just a couple of years later, he ends up producing The Picture of Dorian Gray. And then, of course, his big hit was The Importance of Being Earnest. And he lived a very extravagant lifestyle, too. Even on his deathbed, he was sipping champagne, and he supposedly said, "Alas, I'm dying beyond my means." I'm a fan of Oscar Wilde because he is all about style. He had a number of contributions in the literary world, but also he was kind of important in the history of authorship, of this superstar author that everyone paid attention to.
So it's definitely a first edition.
In this case, we actually call this the first trade edition because the same year there was a deluxe edition published of 75 copies.
Okay.
And this is the trade edition first that was pretty much open access. You didn't have to pay specially for, and there were 1,000 copies it was printed, which is still a very small number.
So what do you think of the condition?
Listen, I've seen better, but I've seen worse. Okay. This book is notorious for this kind of soiling. Japanese vellum, which is what you've got here, this is what happens. The materials used were very beautiful. Wilde was very sensitive about how his books were published, and he wanted them to be beautiful. The problem is he didn't anticipate how they would age 100 years later. So does have obviously.
Just like coins and other things. Some of them age better than others.
You're right. There are some books when there are certain condition traits that are acceptable that would be utterly unacceptable.
All right, so Ellie,
This book, you do see a big range depending on the condition. I'd be willing to place it, I would say, 2,600, optimistically 2,800.
okay.
All right.
Thanks, you're the best.
You're welcome, Rick.
Thanks so much.
Bye. This book is not as famous as some of the other Oscar Wilde works, but I don't think he's going to have a hard time moving it because it's Oscar Wilde. Everyone loves it.
Okay, so we're not so far off the top. Give me a number.
Let me have it for 1,500.
Well, when I was younger, I thought money was the most important thing in the world. And now that I'm older, I know it is. It's Oscar Wilde. What about something about 20?
Did you say earlier you wanted 2,000?
It just puts you in a better appraisal than I thought. There's a lot of demand for Wilde.
I'll give you $1,700.
I'll come down, but give me a little bit. Give me 1,800. It's a fair price for your mistakes.
I know you bring me stuff all the time, and this one I actually think will sell quick compared to some of the other things. So $1,800. If you want to wrap it up for me, and I'll meet you right over there.
Yeah, let's do that. We ended up on settling on 1,800. I mean, that's a really fair price. I'm definitely going to be back. I'm saving some books that I think Rick will like, and I'm definitely saving some books that I think Rebecca will like.
What's good, G? What? MP, baby, calm down. Tom, I just want you to talk normal. Rick, you should let people talk more like themselves and not be so uptight. If you let me talk like I want, I bet you my sales will increase from last week. And if I do, you go to work the weekend shift. If I don't, I'll work the weekend shift. So please be appropriate with the older customers. LMAO, Rick, you know I can be appropriate. What? Loma? OMG. Look at them things. Go write them a hashtag on counter. How's it going? Hey, how's it going? What do we got? Pee-wee Herman's Playhouse. Oh, wow, man, this is cool. So you know how to do the Pee-wee? No. Come on, dude, everyone does. I don't think that's the Pee-wee Herman. What is it then? I don't know, but I think that was like the cabbage patch. LOL.
Came down and saw my Pee-wee Herman's playset. Got the playset from Monaco a long time ago. That was a collector's item from the 80s. I've seen them sell for $200. Figured I'd try some more. I just had enough toys. I'd rather be outside and play in the playhouse.
When this show came out, I'm sure no one expected it to do as good as it did. And a lot of it was kind of the background. It had that post-LA punk vibe to it. Paul Rubens played the character Pee-wee Herman, which was a 12-year-old trapped in a man's body. Did such a good job at Pee-wee Herman. I don't think you could ever see him in anything else and not think Pee-wee Herman. It was the highest-rated Saturday morning program during its 6 years on CBS. I think a third of the viewers were over 18 years old. So what all does it have, man?
It has all the characters. Pee-wee himself. Cherry. Billy Baloney.
Conky, that was the word of the day robot, where he had to scream every time he came into the room. And, of course, Miss Yvonne, who Pee-wee was always looking at the script. It was a little creepy after the fact when we started thinking. So what do you want to do? Sell it?
Yeah.
Any idea what you want to get for it?
I've seen them sold for $200.
Yeah, you're pretty much right on the money of what I'm going to get out of it. I'll give you like $100.
Would you do 150?
I'd do like 120.
Would you do 130?
Yeah, man, I'll do 130.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, come with me.
Hey, how's it going?
I did.
What do we got?
I have a couple telegrams here. I think you'd probably be interested in.
Wow, that's Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Do you have a date on it? Yeah.
1970.
1970. This is like right before he started fighting again.
Right. He was in exile in 1967 to 70.
Yeah. This guy was struggling for a minute.
In fact, his best friend, Buddy Brown, actually pawned his championship belt.
It's happened here a few times.
Yeah. He pawns up and tries to sell my Cassius Clay telegram. Had it about 25 years. It was in great shape, nearly one of a kind. I'm expecting to win a big person. He is.
They left in serial number.
Reasons are that he has proven himself a poor example of patriotism for upcoming young athletes. That's really cool. Pretty much what this is talking about is the fact that Muhammad Ali refused to go to Vietnam, and whatever your opinion of the war may be at the time, there was a lot of people that pissed off. But he stood by what he believed, and he didn't go. All the rest. And because he would do that, cleaning the box.
Different people come across this border. People have come across this border illegally.
Councilmember Palladino, do you have a question for the panel? We have to move on. The forum in the chamber. Councilmember Palladino, if you have a question, please present it. If not, we will move on to the next.
But I'd like to say this. You're listening to
Billy Huntington used to be fast. I think we got stuck at 15 again. What do you guys think?
How's it going? Hey, what's happening? I've got something here which I think is pretty spectacular. Magnifying glass. No, it's better than that. Bam! That is 18th century onyx diamond authentic spectacles. Sweet. I think Sherlock himself would be rather proud.
I know.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell a very unique pair of glasses. I like to sell them because I have no use for them. What I'd like to get from them today would be
You're halfway.
even, I'll be happy.
So where'd you get these?
I bought these about 10 years ago while I was visiting an antique store. Absolutely.
God, it's platinum?
Platinum onyx with diamonds in them.
You have to imagine the amount of money someone would have had to be able to afford this stupid of a luxury.
I don't know if it's stupid, but
Oh, come on. I mean, you really need platinum, sapphire glasses. These glasses definitely weren't just the type of thing someone could pick up at a drugstore a couple hundred years ago. There's enough stones and precious metals in them to make them worth a lot of money. Any idea what you want for them?
$5,000. How's that?
If you broke it all apart, I can tell you exactly what the platinum's worth and what the diamonds are worth and what the sapphires are worth. But when you put them all together like this, it kind of puts you in a conundrum. You mind if I call my dad over here? He's just going to give me a better idea of what they're worth.
Okay.
Let me go grab them real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
I think there's definitely something here. But since I've never seen a pair before, it's worth asking for a second opinion. Hey, how's it going? You've been here before, haven't you?
Yeah, I was with the pedal car. Remember that one? The black and white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was great doing business with you. These are 18th century spectacles.
Okay.
Okay. You know what I mean?
So what do you think about them, Rick? They're probably 1920s, the whole Art Deco style. This was what was popular during the time period. Spectacles were probably first invented in the 13th century. And by the 16th century, people were buying them and personalizing them, making them a fashion statement. What do you think they're worth as is? Generally, jewelry from this time period and this quality is worth a lot of money. Good. But technically, this isn't jewelry. Got probably 10 grams of platinum there. It's very inexpensive stones. And you can't exactly wear these around your neck. So what do you think they're worth?
Be right back. All right, full goes over.
Just 21 they did in the year.
Halfway left.
But in Tennessee, we call it Thunder Chicken. I'm here at the pawn shop today to try and sell my 1979 Gibson Thunderbird bass. I got it about 8 years ago. I found an ad online. A little gentleman in a small town in Tennessee had it. Now I played it, and it is butter. For being played since 1979, it's in immaculate condition. Hopefully, I get $7,500 for it today.
This is cool, but you kind of got me, man. I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. Gibson's just one of those great American companies, though. I think they started in the early 1900s. They're still alive and kicking today. I don't know that much about the Thunderbird model.
This 79 production on bass guitar Gibson's ever done.
Okay.
And there's nothing that sounds like a Gibson Thunderbird. The only humbuckers in there is just you can't duplicate these new instruments.
Do you mind if I It looks like it's in great shape. There's not like really any buckle rash or anything on it. I mean, do you play it often?
Yeah, that's why when I heard the rarity of it,
Let's see.
I was going to get something else kind of pretty hard on gear. If it's really up there, I don't want to beat it to death.
How much are you looking to get?
Get $7,500 for it, get me another base and buy me a bucket of fried chicken and put a down payment on the truck for my wife.
Try this again.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Let me give a buddy of mine a call. He's going to know way more about this thing than me. Yeah, and we'll see if we can get you that chicken. And
You got it.
Look at this. Thunderbird.
Yes, sir.
I'm sort of in shock. I've never seen one in person, actually. Thunderbird came out in 63. They were trying to come out to compete with the Fender P bass, the Fender Jazz bass, and this has just got a legendary tone. It's a neck through, which means the neck and the body and middle here are all one piece, and then they glue the wings onto the side afterwards. So with this all being one piece that you lay the fretboard on, it's got a lot of resonance, really, really thumping low end tone. These are really highly sought after by bass players. Okay, if I pick it up? Yes, sir. Not even too brashed out on the back. You took care of it. Original tuners? Yes, sir. Sweet. So this is all natural. In 1979, they did not buy these at all. Yeah, this is a beauty.
Give me an idea of what it was.
I think Gibson in 79 did 20 or 21 bases. 6 of those were natural finishes. I think 3 of which currently have been destroyed or lost. See this in front of me. It's kind of cool. Like a unicorn.
8 left.
Given the rarity of it, and this one's in full original condition, say $9,000.
Well, both, I appreciate you coming out.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful bass.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you this, buddy. You are my favorite type of customer. I don't see any reason to negotiate with you. You came in, you knew exactly what you have. You do the $7,500 and a little bit of extra for that bucket of chicken, right?
That sounds good, man. Thank you, sir.
Maybe over there.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna take this $7,500, probably buy me another base, maybe put a little down payment on a pickup truck for my wife, and go get some fried chicken.
So you guys look really comfortable. This sets a whole new precedent around here. Antoine is working harder than you guys. You know what? And I'm not even going to get mad at you because you guys are going to leave on a mission. I'm all about missions. What's up? You guys are driving up to Carson City, and there's a guy up there with a 1970 650 Tiger Triumph. Okay? Oh, sweet. What's 10 grand for it? I'm sure you can pick it up right around 8 grand. As long as it runs good, I want it. So, you know what? You guys think it's going to run good. How do you know it's not going to run good? Because it's a Triumph. Don't Triumphs run better than Harleys? No. Yes. The only reason he likes Triumphs is because I like Harleys. No, I liked Triumphs before you were born. I just they're backwards, Steve. No, they're just different than American bikes because the old Triumphs are backwards. Yeah, they're backwards. So what's the problem? It's weird. Well, you just have to get used to doing it. They're lame. I'm giving you guys a break when I shouldn't be. So go to Carson City. Bring Antoine with you. If it runs good, just buy it for me. Okay? Even if I ride my Harley, I don't care what you ride. Just go up there and get me the motorcycle. Ready for a road trip, big hoss? I guess so. You want to ride bikes? I'm down. Okay, cool. Get out of here. Hey, how's it going?
Corey, the bikes are back in the warehouse.
Let's check them out.
We do motorcycle frames, we do gas tanks, we do oil tanks, we do handlebars. We got 5,000 different parts we make here in the U.S.
So pretty much, yeah, if you're building a custom bike, you're going to at least have a few parts from these guys on it.
Well, the bikes are back here. Let me show you. We got a couple of nice ones. I think you're going to really get excited. This is a 1970 Triumph.
Oh, that's nice, man.
I actually bought this bike in 1999 and sent it to my nephew. He restored this bike in 3 years from a pallet of parts to exactly as you see it now.
It's actually funny, man. I've never liked Triumphs, but this is kind of tickling me a little bit.
I have a 1970 Triumph Trophy 650 for sale. It's fully restored. It's really a nice piece. You don't find them this way very often. I'd like to get $10,000 for that.
You like this thing?
Don't tell anybody.
But yeah, it's actually really clean. You did a really good job.
Yep.
It runs like a
Assuming everybody's here.
really fun bike. So you gotta realize in the 60s and 70s.
You're still here?
Since the chairman has gavelled out all of my colleagues with their unanimous consent, I am going to read for the record many of the chairman's comments in September of the importance of hearing from the whistleblower. Again, Ambassador, thank you for your patience, thank you for your service, but since we haven't been able to conduct ourselves in normal procedures, I'm just going to use the 5 minutes for this. September 29th, in the Wall Street Journal. Quote, the whistleblower at the center of the impeachment investigation of President Trump will testify in the House very soon. This is a quote by the chairman. USA Today, September 29th. Talking with ABC News this week, Schiff, the Democrat who chairs the House Intelligence Committee, said the whistleblower would testify very soon. And the only thing standing in the way was getting security clearances for the attorneys representing whistleblowers so they could attend the testimony. From Vox, September 29th. Rep. Adam Schiff said Sunday the whistleblower at the center of a growing scandal surrounding President Donald Trump will testify before the House Intelligence Committee very soon. On CNN, September 29th, Schiff said Sunday on ABC as well as NBC's Meet the Press that he expects the whistleblower to testify very soon. The Washington Post, September 29th.
Oh, the night shift.
He also said he expected the Intelligence Committee to hear from the whistleblower very soon, pending a security clearance from Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph McGuire. In the Huffington Post, Schiff told ABC's this week that he expects the whistleblower to appear before this committee very soon. In the New York Post, quote, we'll get the unfiltered testimony of that whistleblower. In the Washington Times, quote, that whistleblower will be allowed to come in. These are all quotes from Chairman Adam Schiff. In Talking Points memo, question was posed. This was by George Stephanopoulos. Have you reached an agreement yet with the whistleblower and his or her attorneys about coming before the committee, providing the information firsthand? Quote, yes, we have, Schiff responded. And as DNI McGuire promised during the hearing, that whistleblower will be allowed to come in and come in without a minor from the Justice Department or
Time to get off.
to tell the whistleblower what they can and cannot say. We'll get the.
Oh, by the way, Heritage. All Heritage is sorted and soccer. So it'll be shut up tomorrow.
Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said Sunday that an agreement has been reached under which the whistleblower will testify before the committee very soon. I can keep going, but again, the chairman refused to allow us to put these into the record with unanimous consent. So I've read those out, and as we know, it is important to protect whistleblowers from retaliation and from firing. We want to make sure whistleblowers are able to come forward. But in this case, the fact that we are getting criticized by Chairman Adam Schiff for statements that he himself made early on in this process shows the duplicity and just the abuse of power that we are continuing to see. With a minute 54 seconds left, I'll yield to my colleague, Mr. Jordan.
There's still 4 people we've deposed that we have not been able to use that, see their transcripts, have their transcripts released, and therefore testimony they provided we're not able to use in these open hearings. It's an open hearing. All the available testimony from depositions that has been taken by the committee should be available to be.
We're all waiting for the drama.
See, but no.
Never gonna happen.
Two others and another one have not yet been released. I hope the chairman releases that. One other point I would make last minute of Mr. Fleming's time. The Democrats have asserted that this whole thing, Mr. Yovanovitch, is part of some sinister scheme by the White House. Get Mr. Ambassador Zelensky to do an investigation, President Zelensky to do an investigation. If recalling Ambassador Yanovich was part of some scheme by Trump and Pompeo and Giuliani to get President Zelensky to do an investigation, why would they replace her with the Democrats' first witness, their star witness, Bill Taylor? I mean, if that's the plan, not the best plan I've ever seen put together. Their star witness, their first witness, Mr. Taylor, it's here Wednesday. That's what they were up to? I think it just demonstrates that that is not what we want here. Mr. Zelensky never undertook any investigations. And the reason the aid was released, as we discussed on Wednesday, because Vice President Pence, Ambassador Bolton, U.S. senators all talked with President Zelensky, and they were convinced he was the real deal, as the ambassador has alluded to in her testimony. That's why the money having given.
First, most of what the whistleblower has alleged has been corroborated by the witnesses that we have heard from. Second, the president, who my colleagues so shamelessly continue to defend, continue to pressure, threaten, and intimidate the whistleblower. So I'd like unanimous consent to put into the record a September 26, 2019 article from Business Insider. Trump suggested the whistleblower who filed a complaint against him is guilty of treason, which is punishable by death. Objection. How about September 26, 2019, Vanity Fair? Trump suggests executing the whistleblower's sources like, quote, in the good old days. Third, without objection. September 29th, whistleblower's lawyer raises fear for client safety. From Axios. Mr. Chairman, the whistleblower has an absolute right to anonymity. Whistleblower's lawyer has said that he fears for his personal safety and will only answer questions now in writing. I wish my colleagues would join me in protecting the whistleblower's right to anonymity.
That's the one to some of the questions from my colleagues. Some of the early questions seem to suggest that your testimony here was completely irrelevant to the issues at hand. Why are you even here? Isn't this just some small matter that should have been referred to HR? So I want to bring our attention to someone who I thought was actually very important to this whole pursuit, and that is the President of the United States. There's only one ambassador, I believe, who was discussed by the President in the July 25th call, and that was you, Ambassador Ivanovich. I want to refer back to how you were brought up in that conversation. At one point during the conversation, the President brings up this prosecutor who was very good, and it was shut down, and that's really unfair. And I think you indicated earlier that that is a likely reference to Mr. Lutsenko, the corrupt prosecutor. Is that right?
I believe that is the case, but I don't,
So immediately after the president brings up this corrupt former prosecutor, only one American ambassador. Immediately after the president brings up this corrupt prosecutor that he praises and says he was treated very unfairly, he then encourages Zelensky to speak to Giuliani, the guy
Who's here? What's up, Matt? I don't know if anybody. I don't know if anybody knows. All of Matt's auctions ended up going to authentication. Anybody know why?
What is even more telling is immediately after he brings you up and says that you, the woman, was bad news, he says there's a lot of.
I don't see nothing on here.
Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that. So whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. Immediately after praising this corrupt prosecutor, he attacks you. And then he goes right to Biden. Would indicate to you, wouldn't, Ambassador, that he connects you somehow with this prosecutor you were at odds with and his desire to see this investigation of Biden go forward? Would it not?
Again, you're absolutely right that that is the thought progression.
My colleagues also asked, in pushing you out of the way,
ultimately Ambassador Taylor got appointed. Is Ambassador Taylor the kind of person that would further Julian?
Pricing auction. 5 days, 7 days, whatever. See pricing options, see sold listings. Share price preview, quantity, all offers, schedule listing, sales tax, shipping policy, package weight, regular, national shipping, your settings, preferences. Yeah, I don't see anywhere where you could change that.
Might that person be willing to work with Rudy Giuliani in pursuit of this investigation?
I don't see anywhere where you could change that. Nope. Wasn't over 250. $5 auctions. Oh, probably that's why.
Investigations, withholding security assistance, they ultimately paid the money.
Just running an auction.
Myself for when I do editing and whatnot, and taking the contacts off already. So all at the end, enjoy it. I already know what's going on. Guess the tips that we got. Look at the quad. Quad. So today we are at Kachia Muffler Shop. We're going to do probably the fastest unboxing we've ever done of product, and that is Muffler Blake Explorer. Now, the reason we're doing it this fast is because they're ready to go. We were supposed to film this earlier, but it was way too cold. But Austin's with me from Valpo. You've seen him before. He's been on our rally. He's on that BMW M3 that got pulled over at allegedly 160 miles an hour. A second. But he makes really cool exhaust. They're on a bunch of my cars. They're on a bunch of Randy's cars. They're on a bunch of cars that are on our rallies. He has, how many exhaust systems do you think you've sold? Or maybe, how many different exhaust systems do you think you have? BMWs, we got about 15. Always tech by them. Even to use our universal lot with what we're putting on Blake Explorer, you can use them on your 1 series, so all the way up 1 through 8. We got you covered. So here's what we got in the box here. The entire show. The Explorer ST has 2 mufflers. Got 2 of our universal mufflers. Look at that. So we have mufflers here. When the valve is open, it's going to be straight through. Closed, you're going to get a much more docile sound experience. It'll sound just like stock, and when it's open, I'm thinking 4GT. What do you think? 4GT, the new 4GT. Yeah, I mean, basically it's the same. That would be a big. In the box we have 2 key fobs, our vacuum control box, our splitter for the vacuum line, black vacuum line to make sure everything looks OEM. Plugged in. Breaks the entire track. So actually, I have here on my Jeep the same setup. This is plugged.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's a night and day difference. So here's the big thing with these mufflers. This is my daily car. I love to have the car. People are in the car, or I gotta wake up early, I gotta fix my neighborhood. You don't need all the sound. Sound is great most of the time, not all the time. You your neighborhood, you have people in the car, girlfriend,
Yeah.
whatever. These mufflers. Especially the turbocharged V6s before, even actually that's their one. They get a little raspy, so the X-Bike will help merge the two sections and the sides of the engine together to smooth out the exhaust tone, and also help with power within your exhaust scattering out the back of the car. After this, we're going to put our universal mufflers. It's not that loud, but it's pretty aggressive. Now, obviously, we're here around a shop. You could do this at home, but the reason we take it to a shop, and like I would suggest you have to take it to a shop, is because when you do any kind of exhaust work, it always seems when you look under the car, I'm very straightforward. Oh, I just cut here, welded it, or it's whatever it may be. But it's only until it only happens after you cut, then you go, oh, I don't have the right part. That I don't have the right. It's after the first square when you cut in the wrong spot, and you go. So tell me where everyone can get their own set of universals. Exactly. So the best spot to get them is to order them from our website, dopsonic.com. You can get the kit with one muffler or with two mufflers, and it comes with all the controller harness you need. It comes with your vacuum line, it comes with your key fob, your vacuum control box, everything you need to make sure that you can enjoy Flex Motion loud and fighting. Yes. Yes. So let's get to the warehouse.
If you
Oh, hi. What do you guys do? So right now we're standing in the warehouse. This is part of the warehouse. But we decided after COVID and everything, with everybody moving around. So, but it's beautiful. I mean, it really looks out. Nasty diesel garage. So we had all the wall paint, the ceiling paint, new HVAC, even though the heat's not working. We're cleaning up what we have because a lot of stuff was just thrown in here. And getting everything running. So this is my 1922. It is a fully restored car, lovingly restored. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. It's not a concourse restoration, but it has a four-cylinder engine that starts up no matter how long you leave it. This is one of the Volvo colors. It's a very blue-gray color. This is the original color of my parents' car, and the one I drove and flew with. I love that car. So I had it brought back to this beautiful, kind of fun, enjoyable leatherette. Very, very pretty. You know, so there is one line that I think of when I see this car, Randy, because I've heard you say it a few times. And it's, if I sell this car, my mother will kill me. A couple small things that need to be addressed. Like the hoods and
So lame.
That is heavy duty. Well, bottles are always known for being safe.
Scary stuff right there.
Actually, all behind this control panel, the control box, the red one that you saw, and everything is hidden behind here. So what we did is you can see obviously where the bumpers are. We took the vacuum tubing that's supplied in the kit. Under here, you want to show the camera, you can actually see it a little bit. So the T-fitting here is where the vacuum is split. So this one goes into the valve on the passenger side, and then goes across to your bands here and goes to the driver's side. Behind the bumper and such, when you close the doors on every car, it creates a negative pressure zone inside the car. There are vents here to relieve the pressure. What we did is because those flap, we just put the vacuum line in there, and then that goes right down to the exterior of the vehicle. You plug the vacuum line in, and it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to install. So it's super easy. And then here we have it's plugged into the cigarette lighter for right now. So everything is hidden, and you can hear. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, one more time. That is cool. It's not cool.
Dang.
You like to hear your part now. Oh, yeah. All right. Pretty good, right? Dude, it's so great. It's amazing.
Jeez. I see it sounds dope.
And that's what the valve flows. It sounds good. Don't you pull that with me. I would like this one to be open and this one to be closed. Hold on, no. What are we talking about here? Switching with our remote. Program our remote to your program. Yeah, and let's show you how to do that right now. How? You need to hold both. It's gonna take about 20 seconds. See the center of the length. Is this all of them? Mm-hmm. Which one we want? And now, how's that close? You need the middle. now. Now. Oh my God. Touching any button. 3 inches ahead of time? Or is this just all of them? No, just the forwards or all of the garage? You got it. Because I was thinking, I live in an apartment. I don't have a garage. What am I going to use this for? Now I have a reason to use it. Spaceship. Wow. Every
That's
you
funny.
Okay. So this home light setup, to reset it, you gotta hold these two. Yeah. For the outside buttons for 20 seconds. That resets and clears all the memory. Okay. And then because our remote's in the right frequency, it's done in that way. The frequency here can mimic, or this can mimic this frequency. So what you do is you just sync them together as if you would a garage door. So how did you sync it? Did you just hold? You hold this and you hold this. So that was the open is the close. So you hold, it just syncs it together. So this now copies this frequency. That is. You know, if I could have. So if I could have Blake with me here right now, I would. But he's smiling here at your camera. I couldn't tell you how. Doing a different. Sometimes it makes a huge difference, sometimes not. This is one of the cases where I didn't think. I thought it would sound cool. Yeah, not like that. It's really impressive. So if you want to get something amazing for your car, check out Valvetronic.com. All the links will be in the description down below. I'll link this specific product as well as, of course, all the other ones. And for those who don't know, my Venmo has his cost on. Sound click right now. $5 grand to $7 grand under load. I mean, I have never heard another event sound as good. All the other ones, they sound, you know, but this one sounds cool. Either way, with all that being said, thanks for watching. Check out our merch store. Rocking the black shirt right now, which I love very much. Our merch is nowhere near as good as this, so get this. Buy this and buy them up with kids. See you next one. You got to hear about it. You got to hear this thing from behind the I would have gone five. Drift. I'm gonna go with this part first. May not drift beautifully, but it definitely drifts. Hey, Blake, your car drifts. It drifts. It drifts. Oh my God. Every time somebody asks me about
This video, I'm going to break down every single trim level on every single version of this new car. This is going to be a detailed deep dive into this vehicle, so sit down, buckle up, and enjoy this breakdown of this new vehicle. What's up, guys? Mitchell Watts with TC Customs, and before we jump into basically all of them, and really what's left is going to be the active trim level, the ST line, ST, and then the Platinum. Those are in order from the lowest trim level to the highest trim. Now, a couple of cool things that you're getting updates on for the exterior of the vehicle is going to be the black roof, which is optional on the ST line, the ST, and the Platinum. A couple of other cool things, four-door intelligent access. This is a feature where you got the keys in your pocket, you walk up. Now the back doors, if you hit your hand inside of that, automatically unlock the entire vehicle. Pretty cool. Class 3 trailer tow package is now standard, as well as a brand new color called Vapor Blue. The unfortunate thing is they have removed three different colors. The Atlas Blue, Stone Blue, and my personal favorite, the Forged Green. That was a beautiful color. But that went out with the other previous Timberline version of the Explorer. Now, there are 7 different wheel choices, and those are all going to be based on different trim levels. So I'm going to cover those as we hit these different trim levels. By the way, you want to make sure you watch it all the way through. Some of this content is built off of other content, but if you're interested in skipping around in the video, I'll have the time cards listed down below so you can jump to the trim level that's most important to you. But let's jump into the major updates on the interior for these 25s. And the first thing I want to talk about is the 12.3 LCD productivity screen that's going to be found inside of that instrument cluster. That is a pretty sweet little setup where you've got nothing but just a giant screen that helps you. Ford's done a really good job with their instrument clusters lately, and this is going to be the carryover for the Explorer version. Driver assist technology. Now you're going to be getting Blue Cruise. It's 90-day trial standard on the ST line and above. So everything on the ST line and above automatically get Blue Cruise for 90 days. Now you do have Blue Cruise 3 years as an option for ST line and above. So you can like buy 3 years, or maybe it's a year or 3 years. You can buy a big package to get like a discounted pricing. If you really enjoy it, you know you're going to want it, you can do that as well. Because it is technically a subscription model. Much better than BMW's subscription model. Ford Copilot 360 Assist Plus is now standard on the active trim levels. You have Ford Copilot 360 Assist 2.0 standard on the ST line and above. Guys, you've heard me talk about the Ford Copilot 360 suite of technologies. They're fantastic technology, but Ford, you really got to work on your naming scheme. It's about as confusing as the day is long, and I do this for a living. So next up, let's talk about the deleted. This one is kind of crazy. It's active park assist, where the vehicle will parallel park and perpendicular park itself. Apparently that's good. So let's talk about some of the functional updates and changes and things like that. First up, the infotainment system. This is a brand new system from Ford Motor Company, and it covers a 13.2-inch color LCD center stack. The crazy thing is this system has got Alexa built into it. It's got Google built into it. So you get things like Google Maps, Google Assistant, and the Google Play Store of all things. You even have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. But one of my favorite, or at least my kids' favorite feature, are going to be the US ports. Is the USB ports that are everywhere on this particular vehicle. So every single row is going to be getting their own dedicated USBs, so that way your kids can have their devices powered up as you're driving on those long road trips. But what's crazy is Ford has technically deleted the Sync 3 system, but I actually think that's a good thing because I think that they're replacing it with a much better system. From what it sounds like. Again, I've not tested this new system, but I've got a lot of faith in Google products. So let's just test that as it is. Next up, I want to talk about the ordering combinations. This section is really designed for those of you that work in Ford dealerships and
no drama today, Ugly.
Local customers as well, because
I hate to disappoint
you guys learn your product knowledge from our channel as well. And I also know Ford watches our videos, but either way, I want to make sure that we're not just helping the customers here, but we're also helping our fellow Ford guys. So with that being said, I'm going to break down the body codes. If this is not important to you, just skip on to the next section. Watch it if you want to learn something. So the active trim level, the base trim level, if you go with a rear-wheel drive, it's a K7D ordering code, body code. If you go with a K8D, it's the same thing, but in a four-wheel drive. ST line is going to be a K7K rear-wheel drive. And if you want to go with a four-wheel drive, it's a K8K. If you want to go with the ST,
have a good one. Yeah, man, I know.
At a K7G.
If you just blocked all of us from life.
All-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, it's going to be a K8G. If you decide to go all the way up to the Platinum, it's going to be a K7H for the rear-wheel drive and a K8K. That is a tongue twister. K8H if you get the four-wheel drive. So thank you for bearing with me as I struggled to say that. So anyways, let's keep moving on into the standard equipment on the active trim level. Mechanically speaking, this vehicle is going to be identical to previous versions. It has a 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder inline four. It's got auto start, everybody's favorite feature. It's got a 10-speed automatic transmission, and what's interesting is it has an 18.6-gallon fuel tank. Fun fact for later on in the video, I'll go ahead and I'm about to go over with you. So for the exterior, you get a black mesh grille insert. You've got some lower body side cladding. You've got skid plate elements because it's not actually technically considered a skid plate, but it looks like one. You also get some really cool Explorer badging that's on the hood. You get an upgraded 20-inch ebony wheel with 255, 55, 20 all-season tires.
Right.
You have the blackout headlights and tail lights. You also have ST line badging. This is the trim level that is designed to look more aggressive and to look like it's performance oriented, but you don't necessarily need to spend all the money on the performance version of the engine. But you also get some cool upgrades on the interior as well. Like you get an upgraded acoustic laminate window for the front side window. So basically it works like this. You have two pieces of glass that are put together, and in between that, you actually have a laminate where you can cause the vehicle, the window does not transfer sound in nearly as good. So it's going to make for a much quieter ride if you go with the ST line. You also get an upgraded and unique headliner, overhead console, pillars, just a whole bunch of stuff on the inside. Anyways, now let's jump into the ST trim level. And I'm going to cover all of the standard equipment, which is going to be basically everything in the ST line standard equipment, rear-wheel drive, plus
Right.
which is the three.
I don't know.
This motor is fantastic. Got the same, very similar engine in my Bronco Raptor, and I love it. It's got a ton of torque, nice and down low, and it moves. It boogie-oogies. But when you go with that option, you also get the performance brakes with red calipers, which is a pretty sweet little setup. You also get a select shift transmission with paddle shifters, so that's kind of nice. This is what is interesting to me. When you're talking about the exterior, or at least Ford's considering this the exterior, is that when you go with this,
It's like who killed James Gandolfini, right?
anytime you get this bigger engine, you get an upgraded 20.2-gallon fuel tank, not the smaller one that comes in everything before that. Interesting. You also get a unique grille, some body cladding, side mirror caps. You also get chrome quad tip exhaust, which I believe is a standard equipment on all of the 3.0 equipped vehicles. And I'm going to cover it here in just a second. Another way, if you don't want the ST, but you still want that 3.0 engine, I'm going to cover in just a second how to accomplish that engine.
That's how I feel.
21-inch magnetite painted wheels, and wrapped around those wheels, you actually get 275, 45, or 21 all-season tires. Those are pretty much all going to be black sidewalls, every one of them that I'm mentioning to you. Now let's talk about the interior. You get a really nice ambient lighting system that looks amazing at night. You also get upgraded interior finishes, active X seats, which if you don't know, that's basically like a vegan alternative to leather. And if I didn't tell you that it wasn't leather, you probably would never know that it's not leather. It looks like leather. By the way, those seats are going to be memory, and they're heated and ventilated, and they've got the multi-contour, so they massage your butt in your back. So this is really where you get a whole lot of fancy stuff going on with the vehicle, but you also are getting a lot of power because of the ST bigger engine. So pretty cool stuff there. Power tilt and telescoping steering column, heated steering wheel. You've got those rear sun blinds we kind of talked about, wireless charging pad, and this is where it gets kind of crazy. You also get a B&O stereo system with 14 speakers, including a subwoofer, an awesome sound system. Now let's talk about the options packages that are available on this ST trim level. First up, you guessed it, twin panel moonroof. Available with a 4-wheel drive, which, by the way, that points out that you can get the ST in a rear-wheel drive to save some money, or a 4-wheel drive if you want to go fast or live up north. Pretty cool little stuff. Once again, twin panel moonroof comes automatically with what I'm calling those global windows. They roll down with that key fob. You also have the availability to go with a painted black roof if that's something you want an option for, as well as the option to prepay your Blue Cruise subscription up to 1 year. Or it's either, I thought it was a 3-year prepayment, but in my research, it's also saying one. I'm not quite sure, but you can prepay your Blue Cruise for a significant amount of time. You also have the ability to go with upgraded colors as well as the engine block heater if you do live up. Now let's talk about the big daddy, the platinum trim level. What's crazy is that the platinum trim level comes standard with the 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder. Same as an active trim level. And don't worry, you can actually opt for the upgraded engine if you want to. I'm going to cover that here in just a second. But now I want to jump into the standard equipment that is going to be included on this platinum outside of the engine. And let's start off with the exterior with adaptive headlamps, which is pretty cool. I think they turn as you turn the steering wheel. So that's kind of nice. I had those in my F-150 Lightning, and then it was amazing. I loved it. You were able to kind of see around corners better. You also get LED upgraded tail lamps, roof rack, side rails. You also get a satin aluminum door handles and lower body side cladding. I've always called that like a satin chrome, if you will. It's really, really nice. But you also pick up skid plate elements that are painted premium silver. So it kind of ties into that whole platinum theme to it. You also get on this vehicle standard equipment 20-inch luster nickel tube wheels.
All right, Ugly. I think we're gonna call it a night.
That's the season.
I think Friday's the next time I'm live.
It comes with a spare tire. And by the way, it's a mini spare. It's not the same size. It's not a matching spare. But what that tells me though is that going through this ordering guide is they've not mentioned that anywhere else. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to tell ahead of time, but none of the other Explorers
No drama today.
may or may not come with a spare tire at all. So that's going to be interesting. But here's what's crazy is the platinum trim level comes with a rear wheel drive standard.
Damn, Desiree came as I was leaving.
So if you got to have the twin panel moonroof and you
Sit.
have to have a rear wheel drive,
Get out, Ugly.
the only way to do it is to get a platinum. Help me make that make sense. I'll wait. Yeah, getting back to the standard equipment, you also get an upgraded grille. Moving on to the interior, you get an ambient lighting system. You get front door sill scuff plates that are actually illuminated. That looks really, really nice. You have leather cups.
Sorry.
You also have leather seating surface.
Catch you Friday.
Suede performance inserts. Those are really, really nice, as well as the multi-contour seats, second row captain's chair. You even have the third row power fold. A lot of this
Good night, everyone.
But I'm just making sure to cover all these bases just in case